Alright guys, I got the bezel covers on here that Matthew made, and they're lined up pretty good. It's almost perfect. Yeah, they're not screwed in, but the hole is aligned up. So that's where it would go if I was to screw them in. Forgot that I want to put a light in here. A little light when you open up the trunk. I'm gonna have to wire that light to the something in the trunk. If you guys want to get this emblem to light like this, it's really easy. What I used was an LED, one that flickers, because I like the flash look. I don't want it just to be on all the time. You can use one if you want it to be on all the time, but I think it looks cool when it's flashing like that. Kind of lets you know, hey, the trunk's open. And it just, I don't know, it looks cool like that. So all you gotta do is get an LED, and I got flashing LEDs, so that's what I'm using. And then put some wire to it. And what I use, heat shrinked it so it's all nice and waterproof. And then I got some 3M double-sided tape that I'll just be sticking it on. I'm just figuring out where I want it, but it seems about right there is about good. And then we're going to stick it onto that 3M tape, and then I'll just run the wire into the inside through the wire loom later. Right now I just have two AA batteries hooked up to it. And the way I'm going to run this wire is I'm going to try to find out if there's a source, probably the dome light wires. So when the trunk's open, this will turn on, but only when the trunk's open. So yeah, so that's a real easy thing to do. Make sure the LED is red, because some colors won't work with the cover, plexi cover. I tried green, it doesn't work. So make sure it's a bright LED too, not a dim one. There you have it. And it does kind of bleed through right here. If you want, you could put some weather strip, that foam tape on stuff. I'm going to put a little strip there to kind of hide that. See, when you push it all the way up, you can't see it no more. See that? But yeah, but it's bleeding through. So yeah, get some weather strip stick-on stuff, and then just run it across this border here, and then so when this goes on, it kind of sits on it. Alright, just took the tape off the 3M double-sided tape, and I put it on there. It's on there pretty good, but you never know. If you want this on there permanently, you can take some foil tape and just put it over here, and then cut out the little hole where the LED is. And the foil tape might even help the reflection of it a little bit brighter. But I think that would hold just fine. But because I got some Dynamat left over, I think I'm going to cut out a little square and then just put it right here in this section, and then I'll just cut out a hole for the LED, and that way this thing will never, vibrate off. And if it rains, it'll be waterproof. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I made a little template, and then I cut out my little Dynamat here. And this thing will stick right on here. It'll never come off. Stuff sticks really good. I just got to drill a hole where the LED is right here by my finger. Alright, cut out a little box. So now when I sit this in here, There you go. There's the LED. And then the cover will go over it. Alright, now I got this all nice and fitted, and you can see it ain't going nowhere. You can do turbo boost in this thing and land real rough, and this thing ain't going nowhere. So that's just to keep this thing from moving, that's all. And yeah, and keep water out and stuff. Now I could have ran a hole right through the metal and put the lead facing up, but this way is just a little bit better because I don't want to risk water getting inside. And then you put the cover on, and there you go. That's it. Alright, I had a little bit of the LED light shining off here, so you could see it here, and then you could see it was kind of annoying. Like, kind of looked like that. See how that's shining right there off the paint? So what I did is I just put some window seal foam on this side here. I put some 3M tape because the sticky stuff on the window seal foam is not very sticky. So I put some 3M double-sided tape first, and then the sticky foam, and that should hold pretty good. And then you just pop it right in place, and that keeps it from bouncing off the light off the edge there. Looks really nice, really cool. So now I just have to wire this, take the lights back off again and run the wire inside. And while I'm doing that, might as well do the wiring for the rear camera that I'm going to put back here. But anyways, guys, that looks really good. Just gives it that extra touch to it. Now I just have to figure out how I gotta wire this up so it only goes on when I have the hatch open. Alright, once you get the wire ran into the car, you're going to find, well, this is an 89 formula that I'm working on. So I have the little dome light here. It's the little light for the trunk. And when the rear hatch opens, it has a switch, which is right here. This is the little switch. See, when the class comes down, the little lever pushes the switch down, which turns off this switch here in this wires. And it's got 2 red going in and 1 ground. So all you got to do is run your ground to the black and orange wire from that little light, and then the hot will go onto either one of the red wires. And yeah, you can just splice right into this, cut a little bit back out of the wire, and then just wrap your wire and solder it to this, and that's how you'll get this to work on this particular vehicle. If you might have a different setup, I think some of the cars have an actual on-off switch that turns on the light back here. So if you have that setup, you'd have to figure out something different for that to turn it on. But that's how I'm doing it on this 89 formula, because that's the way this setup is.